What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Today we're working on my meal tracker, and today's topic is fixing the fact that using this thing sucks. So, I tried dog fooding this bad boy today, or yesterday, kind of combo the two, and found like all sorts of issues. This guy's not ready. But what is he? What's the point? Well, I guess like I want something that like tracks what I'm eating over time, right? Information is fun. It helps me, I can use the information to be like, am I eating like 4 days of food a day? That's not good. Am I like forgetting to eat fruit over like the course of a month? Am I gonna get scurvy? Am I eating too much salt? We can answer these questions. Like, which ingredients am I using most? What do I need to buy from the store today? What do I like? What do I eat most? Am I eating too much of one thing? Just like we can answer all these questions if we just have the information, right? And so that's what the purpose of this guy is. And, he's kind of tuned to like my life where, I don't really necessarily buy the same bread when I go to the store, right? I go to the store and I look at the wall and I'm like, bread. And like, there's nothing more that goes into that thought other than bread. And I just like pick one, right? I just like stick my arm out and whichever one's in the field of vision, that's the one I get, right? So like, the ingredients are going to change over time. And then also when I cook, I don't like measure. Okay. I'm okay with measuring. I am not going to like measure before putting in though, if that makes sense. Like I'll just like grab some shit, huck it in the pan and then be like, oops, how much was that? And then like measure the container after, right? So like between meals, I might like end up like doubling or tripling some ingredient and like quartering some other ones just because like, I don't know, it's just how I felt today. And so the way that this thing works as of right now is we have like ingredients, right? This is kind of like where everything starts, right? So maybe this morning I had eggs on some bread, right? So bread, we got egg, we got like spinach, tomato, cherry tomatoes, I guess. Tomato, I guess singular is probably the way. What else do we put on there? Cream cheese, salt, right? So we like enter all this shit. And in here, then we like can like add properties to these guys and like set their like attributes, I guess. Right? So like bread is gonna come in like 2 pieces that add up to around like 50 grams or something. I don't remember. I'm not really too concerned about entering this thing correctly. And then what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to add properties. There are no properties right now, but like the properties are gonna be like things that you see on the ingredient label, right? So like, or the nutrition label. So you'll have like calories, fat, protein, whatever, right? And then we can go back to bread and we can like add calories, fat, and protein and like write down how many of these things are in a serving, right? Then we go over here and we're like, okay, I want to eat this stuff. So I go, I'm gonna make a new meal, add a dish. What the fuck? There are no dishes, right? Well, okay, the dish that we made today is like egg on bread. That's like a meal. Now, you might say that, egg on bread is a thing that consists of some fixed types of ingredients with fixed amounts. Fuck that, right? That's not how we work around here. How we work instead is this is like a label, so that in the future, when I want to know like what do I eat a lot of, then I can know that I eat a lot of egg on bread, but then it's not necessarily the same egg on bread every time, right? And so what happens is we go into egg on bread and we add a meal, and we go like, okay, we had all of these things in egg on bread, right? Let's add all of these guys, and we punch in like the correct amounts. These guys are saying that there's no valid units because I haven't set them up yet, but we can at least say that we have like 2 pieces of bread. Right. The idea now is that we like enter all of this stuff, and then when I eat this egg on bread again tomorrow or yesterday, I can go like, okay, I ate egg on bread again, and like, oh, we have a reference of another guy that I used here. Let's copy that one and we'll start from there and we'll modify as needed, right? That's kind of like the overall expected usage, right? And then later we can go in here and we should be able to see like a summary of all of the stuff we ate today or all the stuff we ate in one meal and how like the nutrients of that thing propagate up. And then I'm hoping to get like some sort of like overview of like, hey, you used like this ingredient this much and like this one's running low, all that stuff. So we're getting pretty close to the point where like data entry will work, right? We can like add ingredients, we can add meals, and so I like tried using it yesterday or today. I can't remember. Maybe both. And usage kind of sucks. There's a lot of stuff that has to get fixed before that this is like reasonable. And so I just kind of like wrote down all of the things where I was like, fuck, this is annoying. And I think it's time to just start banging out some fixes. So yeah, let's do that. The first thing is that units for these properties is very important, right? Because um it turns out that like in some ingredient labels the units are going to be one thing, in some are they're going to be another, right? I can't just assume that protein's always going to be in milligrams. Sometimes I've seen some in micrograms. I actually, yeah, no, I saw like a zero 0.1 milligrams or something somewhere. So like either we have to enter in micrograms or we have to support floating point entry, right? Both of those are like good options. um so maybe let's start with floating point entry. I think that if we allow us to enter in, hey, bread has 0.5 grams of protein, that would like kind of work. 0.1 milligrams of protein is running here. Sure, maybe I got the thing wrong, but there's like I saw something had like a point something in a serving size. Um, and so to enter that, we need to be able to support. I guess entering the decimal is probably the easier fix here. Then we could maybe write like protein milligrams in the title here. Or we support general unit. Maybe we do both. Let's start there. Let's start with adding decimal support to property entry. And really, probably everything needs like decimal entry. Like, oh, we'll see. We'll start with decimal entry here. So the question we have to ask ourselves is, how do we want to represent these decimals in the database, right? Part of me feels like you should just be able to like drop a float in there. Part of me feels like we should be faithful to like the string of text that a user entered, right? Because like technically not all numbers are representable by floating point, but probably if we like round to some number of decimals, then it's like fine. But if we're gonna round to some number of decimals, does it like really make sense? Maybe storing what we rounded to is more sane, right? I like the idea of like keeping what we wrote in the database somehow. And so maybe it makes sense to do something like allow up to some number of digits, and then store like the pre-decimal and post-decimal points separately. That seems kind of reasonable. I'm kind of down for that. So what does that look like? Right now, what even happens? What even happens right now if I enter in here? I try to throw in like a 12.5. Is that like allowed to be entered? Does that get sent over the network right now? It does have 12.5 string value here. And then in terms of like entering this thing, is when I click these arrows, it seems like whatever HTML I have here is kind of expecting these things to be integers. Can I change that? Can we do like a float input form HTML? Like, is that number has a type step. Oh, sure. So like step like 0.5 or something seems like kind of reasonable. Or we just let's say step in whole increments. But then like I would have hoped that if the step was 1, that it would let me jump by 1 within like how do I say this? If I had 0.5 and then I click the up arrow, I don't want it to go to 2. I want it to go to 2 or 1.5. So maybe step any is what I'm actually looking for? Could be. Let's start there. Sorry, I'm just trying to get a second shell open. Let's go to, what is it called? Ingredient. I guess it's here. We're probably like dynamically inserting those inputs. So we're probably doing something like this. And then which one were we on? Bread. So 0.5. Okay, that's not doing what I wanted. Also, let's just double check that this is actually like applying what I think. So it does say step any, which these guys are claiming allow any decimal. Can we look this like input field up? step. There we go. So is this is for any input. Can we click on this guy? Oopsies. What? Dude, I fucking hate websites where when you resize, it just like fucks up your scroll. Like, what the fuck is this shit? Come on, man. It's fine. Okay. Each date time. Okay, the value must be a positive number or the special value any, which means no stepping is implied, and any value is allowed, barring other constraints. If any is not explicitly set, the valid values for a number and blah 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 are equal to the basis for stepping. For example, if you have this, then any integer 10 or greater is valid. If omitted, any integer is value, but floats like 4.2 are not valid because step defaults to 1. For 4.2 to be valid, step would have to be any. 0.1, 0.2, or the min value would have to be a number ending in 0.2. What the fuck? Oh, or the min value. So I guess maybe we're just kind of fucked. Like, am I crazy? So like this guy here, he says he has step any right now, but which means that like 2.5 is a thing I'm allowed to enter, but it's still these arrows snap us to like an integer, which is maybe just the way it works. Can we look at like input number. May opt to provide separate arrows, but it's not required. Jeez. Okay. String any means that no stepping is implied. Okay. Sure. Oh, pattern. What is this? That's kind of cool. Input node mode as well. Whoa, 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 whoa. What do these mean? Oh, here. Wait. Allowing decimal values. Whatever. Yeah. Okay. So if I like put in like how do I make it like show as a decimal all the time if I wanted to do that? Like, does this make it so that like oh, I guess I'm the one entering these things, huh? So I put like value here, and I guess like I can choose to make this floating point if I want. Okay, whatever. It's fine. It's fine. We won't think about it too much. Let's just leave it like this for now. And if this becomes too much of a pain in the future, I can look into it more. It looks like not super trivial to make it behave the way I want, so fuck it. Okay, so then what do I actually want to do? I want to make it so that when I go 1.5, it like knows how to interpret that. So that's like zig side. I think that we probably want like a type that's like fixed point number or something. And I think that I want this to be like, what are like the names of the thing to the left and right of decimal? Integer and like fractional. And here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking if we want to be faithful to what the user entered, we can kind of store like these two pieces as integers. So if we store like, 1,000 point this, I kind of want to store the number 1,000 and what do I want to store here? I guess 1? I guess. So we probably want to write down, we probably want to like know how many decimals we're supporting up to, which I assume like 3 decimal places is fine, I assume. So we'll say base 10. Uh I guess we'll say like uh e how do I want to like write this down? Like I want to say this is like 10 to the -3 or something. Right? So 100 is equal to 0.1. 1 is equal to 0.001. We can just write that like this. I think that's like nice. You could do like base 2 fractions so that they kind of like fit nicer in the computer. But I think that like we are going to enter these things as base 10, so storing them as base 10 makes sense. How many bits do we need to store this? uh, I guess it's like 7, right? Because you have like 128 is just over 100. Oopsies. Yeah, because 2 to the 6 is 64. Yeah. Then this, like, I guess we store in the rest of like a U32 or something. Like, that's plenty, right? I guess. So 32 minus 7 is 25? Yeah? Yeah. And then we're gonna have to like do a from JSON parse, I think is the name here. If we're pulling these things out of JSON land. Uh let's see. Where does this go? Blah blah blah. Inner parse. So if you have a structure and it has the function JSON parse, that's the function that we're adding. So let's add this to the modify ingredient property parameters here. And can we change this to a fixed point number and just kind of see where that starts to fall over? So let's kind of, can we do like a 2 float? That seems reasonable. Right, so we can kind of use this in like normal math, but we'll still store it this way. Which is just self integer. You know, we have like ret is this, and then ret. I guess it probably makes more sense to start with the fractional component. I guess we want to validate that this is below 128, or as below 100. Wait, is that true? I guess we need to store up to 999. I'm a dumbass. We need to store up to 999, which is 2 to the 10. Uh, yeah, my bad. Uh, so yeah, like this. There we go. So this is less than 1,000. Okay. And then this is divided by 1,000, and we add in the integer component. Okay. Easy. Easy. Here we need to do something with this. I forget what did that JSON parse even want? Allocator source options. Okay. 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 And Wait, what were we did that 2 float for some reason. It was so that we could go like this. Nice. Okay. Let's implement JSON parse. So we're looking at what must be like a string, right? So we want to, yeah, I guess we want like a string of what they wrote. What is like what, or not JavaScript, JSON? Like what is this allowed to look like? So it might, oh, that's funny. They're claiming that throwing a number as a string isn't allowed. But I guess so. Like the thing that this guy's definitely shoving that guy in as a string though. But I guess it's because, how do I say this? Like the JavaScript that we're writing doesn't know whether or not the schema wants this as a number or a string. So we probably just have to handle both. I kind of want to see what this thing is. I don't really understand, you know? So I just want to see what this gives me. Because I think that it can also be like a decimal number not as a string, in which case, like, I don't really know how this works. I don't know, like, what Zig is giving us here. So we'll kind of stub this out for now, and then we'll come back to it. Because we probably just have to handle both cases. But I don't know if, like, Zig is going to do some of that for us, you know? What is this complaining about? Return type is wrong. True. True. All right. So this can take in API fixed point number now. And that means that the ingredient property should be stored as like can we do this like to I32 return, I guess it's like bitcast self. Okay, sure. Okay, so that kind of fixes that, and then everything else is kind of working. Now, when we pull the ingredients out of this guy now, shit's gonna fall over. So this thing has to be stored also as a fixed point number. Right? And that means that like when we extract this thing from the database, this thing is gonna be mad. So get fixed point num, I guess, is reasonable here. And we're gonna be like, get me this thing as an integer. Okay, and we're gonna be like, from I32 red. Yeah, that's reasonable. Yeah, boom. Easy. Okay, how does this work now? This guy's mad because now we have to go like fixed point number. Oh, that's sketchy. This should be from like db repr and 2db repr. Right, that seems better because from I32 makes it sound like you could put in 0 and get 0, which isn't really, or that would work, but like 1 and get 1 isn't really true. So we can kind of do it like, uh, yeah, let's do this. Yeah, we can do this. That seems kind of fine. Then, uh, we'll figure the rest out the rest in a sec. So now we can kind of go like from DB repper. All right, what's mad? So now we can go like, why is it not auto completing? There we go. There we go. There we go. This is all feeling kind of nice now. I guess that does say factional, not fractional. Which somebody in chat just pointed out. Huge. Okay, so that works. Kind of pleasantly surprising. We also have to make sure that when we serialize this thing, I bet you that it's serializing wrong. So we also need, but that's okay, we'll get there. Okay, so if I type in 1.5 now, we should crash. Huge. And this thing is giving me a JSON reader. I see. I see. Okay. So, how do we use that thing? Since you've been gone. So, can I like this? Okay. So this gives me a token? Cool. And so I can get a number or a these are like, I guess it gives me back a token. And these tokens can be partial strings. That blows. Okay, let's read this. This seems important. Follow this grammar. So document is like a stuff, then end of document. A value is any of these things. Object is object begin, followed by this stuff, then followed by object end. Arrays are, arrays, then this stuff. And then the numbers are it depends, see below. What you get for number and string depends on which next method you call. Okay, cool. So next can give me number, string, or partial string. Next alloc will give us... okay. So this is what I want. If I use alloc if needed, I will never get these like partial shits, which I don't want to deal with. So let's use these. Okay, sure. I've been brave for the first time. What was it? Was it next alloc? I already forget. Yeah. So it's next alloc with if needed. So we go next alloc if needed or something. God, the not having typing information here blows. Because it's like we don't know at this point. Like he's like, it could be anything. So we just have to open the other thing in another window here. Okay, so it's next alloc takes in an allocator, of course. And alloc when, which is if need, alloc if needed. Okay, so this should work. And if, I guess here we're gonna get like a std JSON token. We can kind of help out the language server here. And then we want number, or what was the other thing? It was like number alloc, right? Allocated number. Or string or allocated string. So all of these are the same. And then else return error unexpected. They probably are asking for like a specific thing, right? When they call our thing, which was, what was it called? It's like JSON parse. So this is going to return from here, where here they're expecting a parse error. So we should probably like flag that. So this is what they're expecting us to return. Okay, which I don't know like what our options here. I guess it's just a next error, huh? Or parse from value error. Oh, nice. So I guess it's kind of like unexpected token, maybe? Invalid number, unknown fields, length mismatch. None of these really feel like what I want, no? I guess it's unexpected token. Right here? That seems reasonable. So if we didn't get one of these things, it's like, what the fuck did we get? And then from here we do... if we're trying to like parse out this thing, it's like... If we see... Let me think. Okay. Let's look for the index of a decimal. Right? So if we don't find it, then it's like full length of the string. And then I guess it's like integer is std format parse int of what does this thing want? The type, so it's our U22. Then the buffer and the base. We're assuming base 10. And then this thing can fail, so can we, I wonder if this will propagate nicely. Fractional is like if decimal pause is less than slen. This should be from 0 to slen, or to sorry, decimal pause. Then we try to parse from, hold on, we're trying to parse from like decimal pause +1, right? So this would actually be +1 here. Or we could even do like fractional start. And then we don't have to do the +1 everywhere. Okay. So if we can see the fractional part, we parse this. So this is the same thing, but into a U10. And then I guess we validate here. If fractional is greater than 1,000, we've got a fucking problem, right? Or greater than or equal to 1,000. Hmm. So we need to only take like the first three decimals, right? What dog food did you eat? I tried using my website and it sucks. So I guess we want like const fractional end here is like uh only take first three decimals. So this is like the minimum of slen and fractional start plus 3. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. Yes. If this is greater than 1,000, it literally can't be. So there's no check to do there. Um, so this is kind of like this, and then otherwise it's 0. Something like this. Okay. That seems kind of hype. That seems kind of sick. Okay, I guess here we need to do like uh an assertion here. And probably this is a failable. Like if we get it from the database and it's over 1,000, um ah yeah, let's just assert, I guess. No, that's bad. This should be an error. Um, so we can do this. If ret fractional is greater than or equal to 1,000, we return error. Invalid fixed point number. Yeah, yeah, okay. So now somebody's gonna get mad, probably because that thing didn't used to return an error. Everyone seems fine, actually, which is surprising. Because, like, does the DB not call this shit? Oh, interesting, because this thing happened to return an error already, then he was like, okay, interesting. Okay, sure, blaze it. So I think everyone's kind of in place now for this to kind of behave the way I want. So first of all, let's see what we got here. So we're getting the integer and fractional pieces like as integer fractional, gross. We want this to come in as a decimal over the wire. So we need like a JSON stringify or something. I think it's something like this. I can't remember. Let's go look. Let's go look. Stringify? Yeah, here we go. I think it's in here. And if it's like a struct, they're looking for JSON stringify with self. Okay, so this takes in here where like self is our fixed point number, and then the value is the other. What is self here? The write stream. I guess it's just like writer any type is probably what we're supposed to do here. And then how do we like write into this thing? Like when they write like an integer, they call value start, which is a private function. Ugh. Okay. But then they just call like self stream here. So we're probably supposed to write an integer or a float. Like we could compose this out of things that already exist, but I think that's not really ideal. What does like value start and value done do? These are just like assertion stuff. Oh, they have indent stuff as well, which I guess it does make sense for us to preserve, which it doesn't expose to us. I think it's probably fine though. I think we'll probably go like writer stream. Oh, we have print that formats a value with std format. Yeah, okay, this is probably what we want, huh? So this is just like, we probably just do like this, right? Right? But then this needs to be with like leading, zeros. I think. That seems reasonable. Okay. So what do we get back here? 0.000? That's nice. What is this complaining about? JavaScript parsed value. I've never seen this before. What does this mean? Oh, I see. So they're saying I got 3.000 and JavaScript says that this is a 3. I see. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I guess that's fine. That seems reasonable. And now if we punch in like a 1.5 here, we put 1.5 in here and then I refresh and we get 1.0005 here, which is bad. This is bad. So we need to fix our parsing function here. Because he parses the decimal side wrong. He's saying, hey, we need to like multiply this by how many digits there are or something. Yeah, this is like parsed is decimal is this, and then we have to go like break block parsed decimal times 3 minus fractional end minus fractional start, I think. So if we see 3 digits, then we multiply this by 1. So 4 minus? No, because the end is going to be 0, 1. Hold on. So if we're looking for 3 values, we have start is here, 0, 1, 2, 3, right? So if we want to multiply this by 1 if the difference is 0, so it's 4 minus, right? Or so if we parse this, we want times 100. So it's like, then if it's 2, we want times 10. And if it's 3, we want times 1. Okay. So it's like stud math howie u10 10 to the power of 4 minus fractional end minus fractional start, I think. So we're like 3, end minus start is equal to 3 times 1. Oh, so it's actually 3 minus, because we want 10 to the power of 0. End minus start is equal to 2 times 10. Like this. So 10 to the power 0. 10 to the power of 1. 10 to the power of 2. Yeah, there we go. Would it be simpler to use parse float and then split the float? I didn't want to like. I like the idea of keeping like exactly what they wrote, which I guess probably fits, right? But maybe it's probably better. Probably. You're probably right. You're probably right that like parse float will always give me something that's like accurate enough. So I'm just kind of being stupid here. I'm willing to admit that. I am willing to admit that. What's this thing pissed about? All right. Oh, oops. This is multiplier. Okay. 1.5. So now this guy, we refresh, and we still got 1.5. And this thing comes in as 1.500. Okay, I'll take it. Uh, cool. Cool. I think you are right, though. Probably parsing as a float is silly. Or not as a float is silly, but whatever. We're chilling. So I guess that's kind of this done. I guess we should update our integration test to set a fractional property somewhere. Right, so maybe here we do 6.5 here. And then we just kind of propagate that everywhere. So this is on egg. We want egg to have protein 6.5. And then do we have meal? Have we done? We haven't done the meal tests that are supposed to calculate the summaries, but I expect these are also broken now. Right, so if we go in, oops. Okay, so first of all, let's run our integration test. Summary is equal to summary is broken. Oh, we are doing this then. So somewhere, where the fuck are we? Oh, here we go. Meal 1 expected properties. So anything that has egg in it needs to be increased somehow. Can we do actually not 6.5? Can we do like 6.1 or something? So that in meal 1, when I think we're having like 2 eggs in here probably. Where do we make meal 1? Init meal 1 has add egg on bread to meal. So we're using 2 eggs every time, right? So we're expecting the protein to go up by 0.2 in the meal summary. And I guess here we should be using, this makes more sense. Okay. Yeah, so I think it's both of these should be like this now, which they won't be. Which they will not be. Okay. So this is actually at 271. Oh, yeah, this is failing here. Okay, interesting. Okay, so ingredients. This guy's mad because he's getting Wait, what's he pissed about? Actual value expected. I'm confused about what this is losing its mind on. Because this guy's, he doesn't have any properties, no? Right, the thing we're getting back has no properties field on here, and he's supposed to be testing that? Is this where I go to see professional web development? Definitely not. uh, get ingredients. We're supposed to... Okay, so if I go put this back... It's at... Hold on. Can we go to 168 here? Oh yeah, properties expected. Can we say print actual value and expected value? Like, what's going on here? Expected 6.1 got 6.5. Oh, is that just because I didn't change this in the right spot? Definitely is. There we go. Now the summary, the meal summary part is broken. So it's actually totally fine here, which is hype. That's hype. Okay, so now it's failing at 219. Okay, so this is what we got, and this is what we're expecting. So we got, this is just totally fucked. Totally fucked, because when we're extracting the meal summary from the database, we're probably not reading this thing back the way we're supposed to. Summary. So property summary here, this needs to be a fixed point number. And then everything else should just kind of come for free. So this thing has entries, which are coming from where? Iterator of this guy. So this should be coming to a fixed point number. And this we're going to do as a float. Yeah, that would make more sense. So here... Okay, so the... where the fuck is... Okay, value is the serving amount times quantity of a serving over divisor. Okay. So serving amount is like... How many grams of stuff do we put in here? Divisor is like how many grams are in this thing. Quantity must be the piece. Quantity must be from the meal dish ingredient. Yes, okay, so it's this one. It's this one. And then... It would be kind of nice to store, like, just do the math fixed point number here. That'd be kind of cool. What the fuck is dog fooding tasted like Garbo? Well, I dog fooded my meal tracking app. It was shit. It tasted like garbage. So my dog food tastes bad. The app worked like shit. Um yeah, okay. Yeah, fuck it. Let's do this as floats. I don't give a shit. That's because you're not using React. Shut up. Okay. So can we do this maybe? Like this. Uh-huh. And then here as well. Okay. Cool. Um, if value is less than 0, we set it to -1. That's fair. Yeah, propagate errors. And here we need to be a little careful. We actually want this divisor to be the way it was. Then here, cast it here. Or else this comparison doesn't work. Scary. From F32 is what we want here. Okay. I'm just gonna ban this guy for being fucking weird. And we move on with our lives. Okay, so I guess this can actually this doesn't have to be fixed point because this is a summary value, which means that this thing isn't like entered by a user. This is like a calculated thing, so it just being a float is fine. Actually, I guess that makes sense. I guess that makes sense. Okay, so now if we go back to the meal summary, it's broken as shit for sure. And the integration test probably is still failing the same way. Yeah. So here it's broken as shit. So maybe that means I got this wrong? Quantity unit. So quantity is maybe how many pieces of the meal we have. In which case, we're looking for value is the one that we're supposed to change. Yeah. These numbers are very unclear about what they mean. So maybe I should be less shit, but we'll see if this one's the right one. I've been here for several weeks, first time seeing anyone get banned. It happens every once in a while. I get annoyed easily. Okay, there we go. That 1.5 looks around about right. And what's this thing mad about? He's saying I got 1, 11, 17.2. Oh, and these guys probably are now like this equals equals is like not behaving the way it's supposed to anymore because doing floating point comparison like that is like not allowed. So when we look at the summary now, we actually have to do like floating point comparisons in here probably, right? Because we're like, hey, I expected 260.0 and I got 260, and so it's just like, freak the fuck out. Okay. So that means that we have to go like for fuck. So it's like just property ID value, right? I think. For retrieved expected in zip meal summary and summary, we compare them. We should probably like assert that the lengths of these are the same. Yeah. So these are like the same length, and then for each thing in here, we compare that the retrieved value, is close to this guy. Uh, like kind of like this. Is less than like 1e4 or something. Okay, and then the other thing was the property ID, I think, right? Property ID and value, yeah. So retrieved property ID is equal to summary. Property ID, fine. The all off by one, nodders, yeah. This would be expected here on both of these. And then let's just try this integration test, make sure everybody's happy. Assertion error, interesting. What have I done wrong? 0.7. Really? Those are off by quite a bit. Where the fuck is that coming from? 22.7 and 22. Okay, so what is the... What the fuck? So this is on property 2, which I think is fat. Maybe it's not. Calories, fat, protein. So it's protein. You posting the same message and highlighting it's like, I don't know, man. I don't really... I like saw your message. You would do one thing, I would do another thing. It's fine. That's fine. I get to choose what I want to respond to in chat. Sometimes it's because I'm not looking, sometimes it's because I just don't want to talk about it. It's yeah. It is what it is. What's your hot takes? I'll start with Oop. I'm not gonna answer that. I shouldn't have even started reading it. I don't have I guess like my hottest take is that the best movie of all time is Fast and Furious 7, dude. That one is one I know nobody in the world agrees with me on, but holy shit, what a good fucking movie, man. But I don't think I really have like hot program. The problem is that like the things that are in my brain are things that I think are reasonable. So being like I have a hot take is like I don't know, man. That means I have to like know the thing I think is unreasonable is unreasonable. Oh, do I code other languages? I use Zig most of the time. It's like my go-to right now. I mean, but I've coded in quite a few. Mostly low level. I've got like, some C, some Rust, some Zig, some C++, some Python, some JavaScript, some like I don't know. Not like I don't really have much experience in like those like middle ground languages like Go and Java. I don't really understand why they exist, to be honest. I would think either you're in the like purely I don't give a fuck about performance category or the like I give a fuck about performance category. And so like I don't really understand like splitting the two. But that's because I think that you should always go all or nothing. Did you stop the Xbox controller project? I'm planning on going back. As of right now, I think I will go back, but we'll see if that changes later. Okay, so someone here, I was like, fat should be 22, but I'm getting 22.7. So, like, why? That's a little concerning, to be honest. Because when we submit fat, it's always as an integer in here. We have like fat 5, fat 1, fat 6. Oh, maybe it's because we're not doing multiples of serving sizes, and like that's actually relevant now. That could be. Could be. So what's going on here? We make a meal. So first of all, which meal is this falling over on? This is on meal 2. So on meal 2, we add egg on bread and bread and cheese. Bread and cheese, we use 50 grams, and 50 grams is like is a multiple, not a multiple of 28. So it's like 50 over 28, 1.78 times the serving size, 1.78 times the amount of fat or protein in cream cheese. So that kind of makes sense. 3.5. Wait, hold on. So cream cheese, 28 grams, has 2 units of protein. So it does kind of make sense that this should be confused. So I feel like I'm not getting like the decimal point that I expect though. 0.71 feels a little extreme. But he's also having egg on bread. So it's like 17.2 7714. Not quite. Not quite, but we're getting close. We're getting close. Okay. Hold on. So, let's real quick, let's see what the effect of bread and cream cheese on meal is. So this is oh. Okay. Fuck. Can't do that either. Fuck. God damn it. Too many fucking... Everything's intertwined. Hold on. Dishes. Get meal 2 test. Meal 2 test. Meal 2 test. God damn it, dude. This is at... Here, 231, 200. Okay, I see. So test meal is getting mad now. Can I just not do this real quick? Then we can look at the effect of this guy. Here we go. So this is right. Oh my god, where is this coming from? 200. Oh, we're doing this again. I see. Oh, and that's where the fucking thing is coming in. God damn it. Okay, I guess we just comment all of this shit out as well. Okay, here we go. Oh, everything sucks. It's so hard to get this right. Okay, undo. It's so hard to like test exactly what I'm trying to test because my fucking integration test is so integration. Dude, what is happening? Undo. Is this where it was fucking working? Yes. Okay, we're back. Oh my god. I made my first website. Do you want to check it out? It's at localhost 300. Perfect. We can all go there. I can't tell if you're joking or if you're just uninformed. Um, dude, I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm gonna lose my mind. How do I break this problem down? So the problem is that my protein value is now 6.1, right? Used to be 6. So now when we look at meal 2, we increase the value that we used to have for protein, 25, by 0.2 for the change in egg on bread, plus, I guess, the change in cream cheese, which is 50 over 28 grams times 0.1, which is not the number that we're getting, right? This is what I would expect. Wait, okay, wait, no. My brain's wrong again. We actually didn't. Okay, it's 0.2 plus 50 over 28 times 2. Is that what we're saying? 7714? No. But probably there was like rounding problems before as well. Okay, so we just have to do. Can we do the math by hand? What if we just do the math by hand? That's the play. So 50 over 28 times 50.0 over 28.0 times 2.0. 3.57. That's how much protein we're getting here. Plus 5. Plus 5 grams of protein times 2 pieces of bread. Plus 6.1 grams of protein times 2 eggs. So that's egg and bread, and then probably like bread and cream cheese. What do we do here? It's 2 pieces. So plus 5 times 2 again. 35.7714. And what value are we getting? Because it's very possible that we're just doing it's very possible that we're like creating the summary wrong. That's like a very possible problem. Very possible. Hello? Is it somewhere else? Yeah, it's this one. No? Where the fuck are we? Oh, oops. Oopsies. Okay, let's try this. Okay, one more time. That's funny. 7714 is right. So somehow I got this right and not this right. I probably did a plus 5 times 2 that I shouldn't have. Okay, so if we're getting like, that's like approximately right. Okay. This feels wrong, actually. I'm looking at this and it doesn't look right. I think that this is the right answer. 50 grams of, because I think it's cream cheese, bread, egg, bread. So how the fuck is this 25? You know? Because when we create meal 2, this guy get egg on bread, which is 2 pieces of egg, 2 pieces of bread. Then we're like, okay, then we add bread and cheese, 2 pieces of bread, 50 grams of cheese. So it's like, it's off by 10. I feel like this is the right answer. So let's put this in and then come back and figure it out. So I think that this should be like this. So first of all, if we were to write 25 here, does the rest of the integration test pass? No, but that makes sense because oh, it was also fat that was oh. Hold on. Fat was also wrong. Right? So fat is like 50.0 over 28.0 times however much fat was in cream cheese. 2. Plus fat from bread. So 2, because it's here. Oh, this is per 2 slices. I'm a dumbass. Plus 1. Okay. Plus 1 plus 2 eggs. So 10. 15.57. What do they say? Okay, so that explains the 35 to 25 thing. I've missed something here still. We have to do the math again. 50 grams of cream cheese times fat, times 6. Plus fat per 2 slices of bread, plus fat per 2 slices of bread, plus fat per 2 eggs. Nice, dude. We got there. We got there. We're so fucking there. Let's go! Let's go! That's huge. That took way too long. That was painful. That was painful, but we got there. Okay, so now all of this stuff is converting to decimal. So all of this we can take as well, this we can take as well, this, both of these guys, yep, yes, okay, cool. And we'll say support decimal entry in property values. Sick. So I guess let's put some words here. So property, like when testing, we found that properties, that it is hard to predict the a property unit that will never have decimals. Just allow decimal entry. We'll say API takes inputs as fixed point, represents properties at property values as fixed point numbers of the form up to 3 decimals. This ensures that we take exactly what was written in the form, instead of hoping that a float rounds correctly. We then cast our fixed point repr into the DB and back. For summaries, we are fine to use floating point as, how do I want to say this? Dude, what is wrong with you? What the fuck? What is wrong with you? Shut the fuck up. Just like, dude, actually, like, oh my god, I want to say things that I shouldn't say on the internet. Just like, what the fuck? Why is today's chat full of just like absolute fucking idiots? Yo, I'm trying to do classwork, can't figure out how to kill zombie process. Can you help me out? I don't know if you can. Can you? I've kind of always been under the impression that a zombie process just gets stuck there. Does it not? I thought that they like, because don't they have to be weighted by the parent? I mean, people are saying that you can, so surely you could type this in here. Pseudo kill -9, yeah, I guess so. Sorry, I'll leave feels bad, man. I don't think I meant you. um, what is the best way or place to learn COD? What are you talking about? What is happening today? Where are these people coming from? What do you mean? The code editor? Oh, I see. I thought you were just asking me how to play Call of Duty. And I'm like, what are we talking about, man? Uh, for some reason, we're finding use floating point as these are not entered by users. So, but we probably should round them. We probably should round. So first of all, in our integration test, we should probably round here, which should still be fine. 1e -4 is probably -3. Cool. And then we should make sure that in the UI, these get rounded sanely, right? So like in here, if we go in here and we say, we do something like we did there, where we have like 28 grams of cream cheese, have like, 1 gram of fat or whatever, and then in egg on bread, we enter like 50 grams of cream cheese. We probably want to round this. Probably. Looks silly. Dude, you are not nice. No wonder you get 0 views. Shut the fuck up. Okay, you can get out of here too. Dude, I'm not having it with these people today. Okay. So yeah, maybe we want to round here as well. Maybe? I guess it doesn't really matter. I mean, it does look fucking stupid. It does look fucking stupid. So, are these low effort alts? I can't tell. I might have, that guy might have just caught a stray. I'll be honest. But then he did the typical turn into an asshole immediately when you get attacked, which is fair. I mean, I do that too. How does a guy even round numbers? Yeah, I mean, he's comparing to like thousands, right? Which is fair. In the grand scheme of things, the viewership here is like pretty low, but it's like, it's a niche topic, niche topic. So that's fine. But it's, he's probably comparing to people who are getting like 50,000 viewers, which, if as a percentage, does kind of round to 0. Thank God I said I've for 2 or 3 weeks and don't see anyone banned, and then after 20 minutes, 3 people get banned. Yeah. It's getting crazy today. Okay, where's like summary calculated? Meal.js? Update summary here. Does it make more sense to round on the server side? Probably. I think that makes my life easier. I think that it kind of naturally ends up all the places it has to if we just round this thing here. I think. So how do you like, is there like a standard library function to like round a float to 3 decimals? That'd be kind of cool. I guess I can like times 1,000, then round divide by 1,000. I guess this is kind of what we're supposed to do, right? There might be a better way, but fuck it. Now, does this look a little better? Oh, fucking floats, man. Fucking floats. Okay, so I guess that I lied. And these should come over as fixed point as well. Which is fine. We can make it work. Value F32. So here will be API fixed point number. This guy's gonna have from float. And here we're gonna be like, integer is equal to round value. Is this like an intrinsic? Yeah, it is. And then the fractional is val times 1,000 rounded. And then now we can do all the math in floating point, and then at the very end, we can do it here as from F32 of entry value pointer. Does that work a little better? True, we do need to int from float here. Okay. There we go, baby. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. Cool. Cool. Yeah. Works for me. Which means we come in here and we amend this commit and we say we just lie here. We just API represents property values as fixed point numbers of 3 decimals. This shows that we take exactly what was written in the form instead of hoping that a float runs correctly. We can capture things into the DB and back. Summaries also use the fixed point number abstraction to avoid giving the web app, you know, xxx.y. There we go. Hey, what the dog doing? What the dog doing? Arf, arf. Shut up. So, dude, it's just, I can't help it. You know, I see the words, I want to say the things that in my brain, but sometimes it's just like, I gotta learn to like shut the fuck up, you know? Just don't say it. You don't have to say everything that you think. My dog's looking at me like, what the fuck are you talking about? Because I was just barking. That's kind of a reasonable response. Brain is brick today, Skivity. Yeah, I guess so, dude. All right. That's here. Add decimal support to properties. Which means now properties need units is like kind of strong, right? Because we can now probably enter the properties as like, we can probably get away with doing like, if I did like, you know, protein milligrams here, that's like kind of enough where now I could go into protein here and enter it as like 0.005 if I really needed to. So I'm going to say that this doesn't need to be done now. We can kind of get away without that. it. Okay. Next up. On meal entry, when I am entering this shit on my phone, it looks like shit. Like, you know, this is awful. This sucks balls. So I guess the question is somewhat like right now I'm kind of like indenting by dish, right? If I'm like Borgor here, and then I add meal Borgor. Whoa. Oh, so I clicked add meal, dumbass. All right. So if I do this, like I have indentation here so that I like know which part is tied to which part. But like on mobile, it doesn't really feel like it should be that way. You know what I mean? Like here, I don't know if the indentation's. I guess it's fine. It's fine. It's not very much. The problem is more that this stuff leaks over the side. So I guess what we should do is just like flexbox this shit instead of putting it in a table, and then it'll wrap if it wants to on mobile, and then on desktop it probably won't. We can probably also squish the input field down a little bit. This thing doesn't need to be so fucking fat. He's a little fat boy. Shut up. Okay, so let's do that. Let's go to meal.js and let's try to or I guess meal CSS. Eventually, this stuff needs to go somewhere else, but it can live here for now. So we're looking for like input type equals number, and we kind of just want to like shrink this thing down. You know? Fuck. Meal CSS. Okay. And then probably pixels is the wrong unit, right? You're supposed to use like EMs or some shit. What's a rem or EM? CSS units. This is your brain on Zig chat, not even once. Hell yeah, dude. Okay, so there's EM, which is relative to the font size of the element. Rem means relative to the font size of the root element. I guess EM is fine. Yeah, it doesn't really make a difference. Doesn't really make a difference. They're kind of the same here. Where the fuck is my... Hello? Did I not... Oh, here. 5. 5. 4. 10 point... 5. 5. How long have you been working with Zig? We can find out. We can find out. A year. Jesus. No. Does this not tell me like the date this was uploaded? It only gives me March 29th, 2024. So yeah, I guess like holy shit. That's a lot longer than I would have thought. I thought that I like in my brain like I just started. But I guess a while. That's kind of crazy. Kind of sick though. Okay. Okay. So, okay, that looks good. Now we go back to mobile. This thing looks like shit. So yeah, I want to put it in a flexbox div instead of a table. So ingredient table. I'm just gonna call this div for now and put a fix me on this. Rename. Actually, fine. Ingredient div. Just ingredient div. Okay. Then when we add this guy, instead of adding rows, we'll create element like div. And then we aren't going to make these columns anymore. So the label gets appended directly to the row. All of these things get appended directly to the new row. And then table here is the wrong word. This is like parent div here. Okay, so now when I refresh this, all of our things are still here, which is good, right? And if we inspect element, we should see like a div of this parent with a link, input, select, and button. And then can we just put these in like a, can we just put this in a flex box? Right, so here I'm just like a display flex. Close. Definitely close. You ever try any FP languages you've liked? Never tried them. It's on the list of things that I want to do at some point. But Never really gotten there. Never really gotten there. So can we can we do like a ingredient row display flex, and then here we can put on the parent div. We can do like class list add ingredient row, which didn't work. Why? Did I spell this wrong? Might have. Okay, interesting. Why is this not doing what I want? Yeah, I mean, this is definitely here. Ingredient row, display flex. So what the fuck is the problem? Oh, because all of this stuff, it's the wrong guy. Yeah, I guess we do just have an extra div here for no reason, huh? All right. He's not happy. Why? New child is an ancestor of the parent. Whoa. Oh, yeah. There we go. There we go. Oh, so, I see. We should be doing this. We should be making a fragment and then everywhere, like, working with the fragment until we're ready to put everything in at once to avoid too many DOM entries. This is wrong, but also parent div. No. Okay. Whoa. So before we were removing rows from the table, which I guess is why we did this. Oh, right, because if it's 2 ingredients, I want these to be in their own rows. So it was actually right before. We were right to have new row here. And what it should be is new row is the one who gets the class list add ingredient row. My bad. My bad. Okay, wait, does that kind of work? Nice. Nice. Okay, so before we had some CSS rules to try to like center this stuff vertically. Does this still work? Like, how do I vertically align in Flexbox? How to vertically align text inside a Flexbox? Align self and align items in a list. Here. Align item center. Okay, let's see. Let's see if that does what I expect. Meals. So in here, just fucking on this guy. Close. Now, these guys need margins. There's something wrong there. But then, like, that looks centered vertically, I think. So I think it's this we need to do, one of those, like, ingredient row, star, margin, 0 pixels. Okay, close. And then we actually want, like, margin top and margin bottom to be 0. And then do, like, margin right, like, 1 EM or something. That's not bad. You can do gap in the flex. Oh, hype. So you're saying, like, do margin here. And then do, like, gap 2 EM or something. Yeah. Oh, you know what? So this is why I put it in a table before, is because I wanted like all of the like delete buttons to line up. Right? So like this kind of blows. So I guess a grid is probably the what I want here. Yeah. And then we just adjust the grid layout. Like, can you like CSS grid wrap? Is that allowed? Um, auto fit. I don't really want to think about this. Let's just do CSS grid. Let's. You can do grid with media queries. Makes sense. Makes sense. So immediately, yeah. What is media query? This is like if this asks if I'm like a fucking aspect ratio. I kind of want to just like see if it overflows or something, but we can try. Let's just try CSS grid first and then figure it out after. Um, example, example, basics. I'm a basic bitch. Here, yeah, this sounds right. Grid template columns, and then one FR sounds familiar. FR is one fraction of the available space. I see. So here we're like, we go back over here, and we go grid template columns is one FR. Was repeat for one FR or something. Okay, that's close. Then when I go like this, it looks like shit. Okay. Then like this looks like shit as well. And I don't really want like the shit to expand to fill. All of this is bad. I kind of feel like the table is like really close to what I want. To be honest, like the table responds way better in this layout. So I guess it's like we should just detect like do we swap out the table if the fucking page is too wide? That sounds fucking stupid. That does not seem ideal. And then also like the width of this guy is too big. Like, can I like set the width to fit the contents? Whoa. What's going on here? Oh, maybe it just was failing to parse the CSS because it was broken. So I did like. Yeah, I see. I see. Fit content. Yeah, something like it's just all gross. Everything is disgusting. Like I understand what's happening here, right? He's trying to space the grid so that like it's taking up 1/4 of the available space for each row or for each segment, right? Which is just like not really what I want. Right? I kind of want like the grid columns to like fit the content. You know what I mean? Which I don't know if is like something that I can do. What the fuck? Inline grid? What the fuck is inline grid? Oh, auto? This sets the first column to equal the width of the y and the second to get the remaining. Oh, can I just do like quadruple auto then? That sounds kind of hype. But then, like, what is happening? Also, okay, what's inline grid? Does that like, let's just blindly type that shit? Yeah, I want like coherency between the rows of the grid. which it's like clearly not doing here, right? Oh, is it because they're each getting an independent grid? Of course. It's because the ingredient row we want we want we want to ditch the ingredient row. I think maybe for this to work, we need the grid to be the direct parent of each thing. Which means that like if we want when we click the delete button, it gets a little hairy because this has to like nuke the row, right? So how do we do that? How do we do that? Brrr. It means that you need to like. Oh, I guess here we can just remove like the delete button. There's like an on delete somewhere here, and it should we can just be like. I wonder if you could remove like the fragment or something. But we can just be like input unit select and label input unit select. We can just do this, which is like not really ideal. Better way, question mark? But it'll work for now. So now we get rid of this new row again. It's like parent div everywhere. Okay. Now the parent div on gets the CSS grid treatment. Right? So this is like ingredients table or something. Then this is like ingredients table. And this is grid. And then the like template columns is repeat for auto. Okay, I think that that's getting close to what I want. So now I add a second thing, and they're kind of lining up with each other, which is hype. That's kind of hype. So the lining up is working. And then let's go back here. So now we just have to figure out how to like make the grid wrap. If grid wrap CSS grid wrap narrow window or something. Is that like a thing we can do? Yeah. That's what I want. From my article. So they're just using Dude, are you kidding me? Dude, that's fucked. uh CSS people be like, yeah. So I kind of understand what you're saying, media query on window width to like control when. But I kind of can I check if like my column width is above the window width or something? CSS viewport width greater than div width or something. That's not really what I want. This seems like a kind of question for the idiot, to be honest. Is there a way for me to detect in CSS if my window size, if my like div width is greater than the window width? So he's just doing it in JavaScript, right? Yeah. Yeah, he's just doing it in JavaScript, which isn't really that crazy. What's this? CSS container queries. Uh Okay. So can you do something like if the container is larger than this? I wonder if you can do like container is like. I guess that's not crazy. I guess it's not crazy to just limit it based off of our width because we kind of know, like maybe, like if the container is larger than 700 pixels. So can I do like? I wonder if you could do something like a container min width 100%. You know what I mean? And then do like background color. You know, is this, first of all, does this do what I think it's gonna do? Oopsies. Yeah, okay. So like, can I detect this way? No. But okay, so let's try to do something like 500 pixels here. This is not behaving the way I thought it would. That's not doing what I thought. Oh, it's the other way around. I see. You don't put it inside. You put it over here. So if the ingredients table is in something like this. Not doing what I thought here either. What is container here? Um. Oh, max? Yeah, that's. Or maybe it's like width greater than. That's what they said in their example, right? Width less than 500 pixels. It's not really doing what I want there either. Default heading for styles for the card title. If the container is larger than 700 pixels, do something else. So max width. Is this like number wrong? Like, yeah, it's not really doing what I expect here. Not. Oh, space after container? Really? Okay, let's just copy paste this. Ingredients. Table. Background color. I mean, we're definitely going above and below the 700 pixels thing. So this just must not be doing what I want. Oopsies. There goes my fucking mic. Okay. Container CSS rules, an additional group rule that applies to styles into a containment context. So what is this? So maybe we have to specify these. It's possible. In their example, container type. Yeah, okay, let's look at what the container types mean. Container type. Size, inline size, or normal. Here we go. So size is based off On the inline and block dimensions of the container. Inline dimensions of the container? I don't really know what inline means. Inline dimensions mention how long the text runs in the writing. I see. Got it. Got it. The element is not a query container for any container size, but remains a query container for continuous blah blah blah. Okay, so does that mean like, let's just try hucking one of these guys on there? Although it really seems like what does this mean? Container name tail, but nothing in here. Oh, I see. They're saying that's not fully. Okay, let's do this. So here? No. Okay, so. Okay. Not supported in Firefox. Won't take a look at chat. I mean, then why the fuck is it on the fucking MDN website if it's not fucking supported? Like, how the fuck it. Look, it's right here. Firefox supported. You know? So what's the fucking problem? Right? This should be fine. Am I crazy? It's like right here. It says it works. Can I use this? No, I don't know. Maybe I mean, I don't know either. I have no fucking idea. Like, why? I guess maybe this is different. Style queries versus size queries, right? So, okay. Can we try doing this a different way? Container width is greater than 0 pixels. Right? The fact that this doesn't work is a problem. What are our other options? The other option was like media, right? Okay, so that one's working. So that helps in some ways. I guess we might as well just do that then. So if we're less than, 200 pixels, make it red. Oh, which it's not. I see. Boom, boom. Okay. Now using pixels here is probably wrong, right? Probably using like, one of these guys. Yeah. So something like that. Something like that. Yeah. Sure. So if we get too fucking small, then we change this guy to just like auto. And then it should. Oh, yeah. Come on. Wait, that's sick. Look at us. We're fucking web devs, dude. Look at that. Boom. 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 Let's go, baby. Okay, so that's close. Let's start here. When do you release your course? Never. Never. I'm not here to be your teacher. I'm here to just do what I feel like is fun, and if you guys want to watch, that's fine. I'm not, yeah. Teacher is not my thing. I want to like, can I do a comment like this in here? Would have liked to, like, container seems more correct. But didn't seem to work. Smile. Okay, so there's something wrong with like why the fuck is this like expanding? I wish that I guess I can keep it small if I do this. Oh yeah, look at that. It's beautiful. Um okay. So now the question is like what the fuck is causing this to be like so fucking fat? Is it just like is it like max width or something? Like cuz before they weren't expanding like that, right? This I'm gonna asking the idiot. This is like a perfect ask the idiot question. Elements in a CSS grid are expanding to fill the available area. Can I make them not do that? Question mark. Grid item. Uh, aligns the item at the start of the grid. Display. None of this really seems like what I want. Why don't I have to set min, max, width, etc. when not displayed in a grid? Um, blah blah blah. Grid behavior, the place in a grid structure, which can lead them to expanding the filter grid area. But like, can I? Okay, fuck it. This guy's useless. He's useless as always. AI Yapathon, dude, no kidding. Um, is it like grid template columns? What are our options here? We got like auto FR. Um, basics. Blah blah blah. These guys are now grid items. We've got grid tracks. You can set these guys. So I'm assuming right now, if we go back into our website and we set this to like, oops, let's go to this. Uh, hmm. What does auto do? I guess is probably the question that we need to answer, right? Um. Okay, we use min max by setting this. Will be a minimum of 100 pixels tall and have a maximum of auto. Sure. Okay, that's not really what I want. I guess we do just want to set the maximum. Can I like look at okay, on this button? What are our like min and maximum on here? Like I assume that here if I do like max width is like, you know, 5 EM or something. Right now it doesn't expand like that. Right? But like I just don't really understand like why it's trying to like fill it up, you know? Items in a grid have min width auto by default. Change it to min width 0 should cause it to shrink. Oh, really? So you're saying like ingredients table star, you want like min width 0? Like I kind of feel like it's kind of like more like this, right? Yeah. I mean, we can just do this. Fuck it. Because it feels more like it's trying to fit the max, no? Oh, there we go. Wait. Hit me with this. There we go. That's kind of what I was looking for. Min width should make them respect their default size. Doesn't seem to be doing it. That doesn't seem to be doing it. But this feels kind of good. So then here, like, what I want on this column is like, first of all, what's with this fucking gap here? Okay. Wait. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I wanted this whole time. Is I wanted it to kind of like not try to fill up my fucking screen. Oops. Yeah, I'll take it. And then, yeah, that seems fine. Yeah, sure. We probably have to like adjust the margins now. Yeah, gap makes sense. Except I only want like gap on the horizontal, so I don't think I want this. I think I want like ingredients table star margin right like 1 EM or something, right? Like that's kind of more what I want. Where I want, because like otherwise it's putting the vertical gap as well, which I don't need. And then there was also like a line in here, right? Like vertical line middle? No, it was like align content center. How do I like we had it before. CSS grid align content vertically. Call it row gap and column gap. Oh, nice. Align items was what it was looking for. Align items. There we go. Okay. Okay. So we have this stuff. We have margin 0. And then we just put column gap 1 EM. Okay. Okay. And then like row gap. We'll probably need one of these. Oh, I see. So we want the row gap to be big here, but like not here. That's kind of interesting. So we kind of want like groupings when it's like skinny. It's nicer if these things are like grouped somehow, right? So it's almost like here I want like button to have a margin bottom of like 1 EM or something when it's skinny, so that this gap is bigger. And then like row gap 0.5 EM or something, right? So like now we kind of see like groupings of these, which is kind of nice. You know? Like this could be even like fucking smaller, to be honest. Like row gap in this version like 0.2 EM. Like look at that. Doesn't that look kind of nice? I kind of like that. Who knows if what I'm doing is like fucking stupid, but oh god. This looks okay. We finally fucking got there. This gap is too big. And then here we need like a margin bottom also. So this add ingredient looks a little farther. That looks okay. That looks okay. I'll take it. Right? So now I come like this. These guys, like, it's not ideal, but it works. Oh yeah, boom, 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 boom. We're fucking responsive web developers, dude. Look at that. Oh. Sick. Sick. Now I guess we should also check that this actually works on my phone before I commit it. I'm not like 100% convinced. I don't know how like DPIs and resolutions and all that shit affect stuff. So I'm just gonna do that with you guys not seeing it because I don't want to show you my phone because you might see notifications and then what? Who fucking knows, dude? But yeah, it looks the same on my phone. Looks the same. Sick. Responsive web developers. Okay. Wait, we do have to make sure the delete button still works, which it doesn't, right? So like, why not? Table is not defined. Yeah, this is just supposed to be parent div, no? Okay. So now I delete this and it goes away. We add spinach, deletes, cherry tomato, delete. We add two things, delete, delete. Okay, that's kind of working. Okay. And then imagine a grinder pop up. Keck W. Yeah, that's really funny, man. Ha 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 ha. Would be crazy if I was dating. Stupid, man. Okay. Uh let's I wanted to see if I can make a fragment here to like kind of append all of these to the DOM at the same time. Right? Like kind of like this. And then down here be like parent once everything is ready. Right? Append the fragment down here. Right? So this should work fine, right? Boom. That's still great. Now what I wanted to know is what if I do like remove fragment here? Like, does the fragment like get consumed? No, that, oh, wait, maybe, wait, hold on. Delete? Oh, interesting. Okay, so that's not doing what I want. Let's make sure that if I do the other way, yeah, that's kind of working the way I expect. Okay. You could lose like a query selector of a name or something. But this is fine. This is fine. I'm down to leave that. Fuck it. Fuck it. Okay. So what do we got in here? We got some CSS shit. We got some meal dish ingredient changes. Yep, because we're using a fragment in a directly under the parent now. The parent is a div that gets ingredient table as a class. Hype. And then we pass ingredient div around. Okay, yeah, cool. Responsive meal page. Responsive meal page. You can use a normal element to wrap those items with display contents. It will respect the grid, I think. I don't really know what that means. Okay. So we'll say replace on mobile the table used to display the meal ingredient entry was unbearably wide. Fix to fix by making a wrap differently on mobile on skinny screens. Replace table with a CSS grid and detect you know, like low width scenarios and rejig the grid to group rows vertically with larger gaps between. Sure. Is there anything else we got to call out there? Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Forget it. If it works, it works. Let's go. If it works, it works. That's our mantra, baby. Hi. Yo. Okay. Um. So that kind of fixes that part. So meal entry. This is manageable. What else? Okay, let's look at what else I noticed that has to be fixed. Decimal entry for all numbers. Yeah, I mean, like theoretically, you could like use like 1.5 cherry tomatoes or something, right? So like it being working here is reasonable. I think for now I'm not going to do that. I don't think that's like the most important or most painful part. So I'm gonna like slap that down here. Renaming dishes and renaming ingredients is definitely like things that come up, right? Because like I definitely typoed ingredient entry like immediately on my phone. So being able to rename this would be kind of nice. Um, as well as rename these. This one dishes should be easy, as well as properties. Really, all like we have a typo here. This list is designed to be editable, except it just doesn't work. Um, and then like deleting these would be nice. So probably like the dishes and properties view should look like the same. To be honest, these should be like the same fucking page. Because like both of these are like I have a list of things and I might want to change their names, and the name is the only pieces of information that we have. So maybe we start with property, like edit property names. Um and then move on to like I think that's the easiest place for this to get fixed. Okay. So we have append to property list. We've got a property nose append input. We have an input that we create here, and so it's got to be like input on change on input. I can't remember which one of these is better. Oh, we have on key down is what we use here. I guess it doesn't matter in this case, I think. Let's see. Console log hello world. Or maybe we'll like log the event. Fuck it. Okay. Boom. Boom. You know. So I kind of, yeah. It only applies when I leave the box, which kind of sucks. What do we do on input? Yeah, that feels better. That feels better. Okay. And here will just be like proper property update modify what is this thing? We have remote item array, which just like takes JSON blobs and shoves them in here. I guess we could like pass in a item constructor, which would allow us to like specify the type of the items in here, and then we could have like our property take like an update function, which isn't too crazy. Or we could even do this, right? You know, you could do something like this. And then here you could be like, every time we add one of these guys, we say like, item, like, is a new this item type. You know? If this thing is not null or something. You know? you know, this thing is not undefined, then this, else use the JSON as is. You know? So I assume that this doesn't break anything too heavily. And then if we then say we have like a property, you know, and then like in properties JS, we're like, I guess it's here. You know, if we do this, that surprisingly isn't causing problems. Kind of expected that to be honest. Surprised that doesn't work. I wonder if it's like types don't work the way I thought they did. That's like very possible. Right, because we call make properties. Now this guy, he has item type here. Can we like properties, print properties item type? I mean, he does, this seems to work. But I wonder if you can't call like this way. I wonder if this doesn't work the way I thought. No, that does as well. Maybe I fucked it up here. Init from server, this update. Oh, wait, hold on, wrong thing. So here we have remote item array. Here we have response. Oh, this items is response.json, and so maybe this is the problem? Or maybe it's here. Init from server. We wait this update. And then we iterate over the items. Yeah, so it has to be this, right? It's got to be like JSON is this, and then we go like if this item type is not undefined, then we do like response, we go like this items is equal to JSON map item this item type item like this, right? And then otherwise it's like this items is equal to JSON. Okay? Yep. Yep. Okay. So then now this should all fall the fuck over. Nice. Nice. And I guess now we can do shit like do like get name, return this data name, and then this should just keep working the way it was before. But now we should be able to be like, now we can add like a little, you know, update, update. Or modify, I guess, something like this. And so now we can say like new name, you know, change, yeah. Yeah. And then we go like fetch on properties, plus this data ID, probably. You know, something like this. With method is put, and body is JSON stringify. You know, name is new name or something. Seems kind of reasonable, right? So now this shit's not happening because I actually have to call the function. So we should be able to be like property modify ev target value. You know, something like this. Yep. Nice. Okay, so now we're, you know, sending some requests to update this guy with the new name. And now we should be able to go into like DB zig and maybe API zig and look for the URL parser. So somewhere we're looking for puts on properties with an ID. So return modify property is equal to ID. Boom, simple. This modify property doesn't exist, so we make it. Okay, now somebody's gonna be like, yo, we don't fucking handle that, so modify property. And we probably do something like this. So here we're like, I want a modify property JSON blob. And I guess it's like, for now, it like is the same as add property. Which is kind of funny. I guess not, actually. Because he needs an ID as well, right? So modify property gets the ID of I64, and validate is like add proper. We say like add prop is add property with name is equal to name, and then we just call add prop validate to make sure that things stay in sync. Cool. So now we can modify a property with params dot name. Okay, which is gonna live next to this. So we go modify, and name is like. Oh, this is not just the name though. This is he needs the whole fucking shebang. He needs a whole shebang. So he needs the, API modify property parameters. We're gonna say update properties set name is equal to 2 probably, where ID equals 1. Okay, that seems kind of hype. So we say number 1 gets params ID, and number 2 gets the name. Huge. Step no results. We don't have to return anything here. I don't think. We just say, we fucking succeeded. And then respond empty. We're like, yep, we sure succeeded. Okay. So that compiles. Which means that this should... He's unhappy still? Why? Missing field. True. True. Because in here, in our property, when we try to modify this guy, we need like ID is this dot ID. Oh, I'm a dumbass then. That means that the parameters, the interface is wrong. The interface is wrong. Modify property. This needs ID here. And name is a new name. That means that this guy gets ID and name kind of like this. And then modify property actually can reuse the add property thing. Are you going to make an MVC in Zig? You're repeating yourself a lot. I don't really know. I don't feel like I'm repeating myself in a way that's like invalid, right? I think that like handling a request with the correct the correct thing is like which part of this is not something that is not unique. We're like, hey, we have like this request that's coming in. We are going to like interpret the data that they're requesting in some way. Then we are going to call some unique function on the database and respond with the stuff that we got. I don't really know in like which part of this is like worth not repeating, right? It's like just because other paths happen to do the same thing, I'm not really sure if it's like a thing that matters. I don't know like which part of this is like huge repetition, or like which part I would want. Like, I'm wary of abstractions that make kind of like the unique case hard, right? So I'd be interested in hearing which part you think I should deduplicate, but I don't really think that it's like, this is supposed to be add property for modify too. Yeah, we should note that though. Looks wrong, but add property and modify property happen to take the exact same parameters, so we just reuse. I guess it probably changing this to like add modify property kind of fixes that, huh? I think that's fine. Okay, so that's working now. Here, he doesn't like that this name is duplicated, right? Because this is the same thing. So he's failing there, but the rest of this is, at the very least, hype. Right, so now fat is now fat instead of fatty. So I say that's a win. Um, it seems like there's a risk here that the make properties thing has like fucked other people up. But I think we had getters for ID and name, so the interface should be like almost exactly the same. So I think we're kind of chilling. Oh fuck, we forgot to prettier some stuff. So let's fix that as well. But okay, so this is good. All of this is good. All of this is good. All of this is good. Uh-huh. 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 Yes, yes, yes. Yes. Okay. Support property name modification. And we'll just say bonus changes. I saw a couple in there. There was one that was like remove unused function in property.js. We'll say supporting changes. This is like add support for remote item array to create custom to create instantiations of another data class. This allows us to have properties with nice little modifier functions on them. We'll say reuse add property parameters as for modification as they happen to be the same. And then we can say I don't really know if there's really much. There's not like a paragraph that needs to be written here. It's just like we need to fucking change the names. We gotta change the names sometimes. All right, we can just say like I typo. Sometimes I typo. Okay. Let's do a little double check here for this. I want to make sure that like the lint script is passing at each step. So okay, cool. Okay, here's where we fucked it up. Okay. Get status, get commit amend, get rebase continue, prettier, lint, get diff. Yeah, that's all related. That's all related. Okay. Cool. Cool. Rename. Ooh. Whoa, what's going on here? Integer part of floating point value out of bounds. That's not good. All right, that's a bug. We gotta fix that. Rename properties. So when did this break? That must have broken here, but I don't remember that happening. Huh. So this is in integer part of floating point value out of bounds. Can we hit the debugger there? So this is on... Oh. I'm a dumbass. This needs to be, we need like stud math float fractional bits or something. I think it's mod. Oopies. Is that better? Close. So... No, this is raw. Mod. Oh yeah, mod by 1. Hold on. Okay. Input is this. Output is... Hold on. Output is this. What do we do wrong here? What do we do wrong here? Input 25.0. This should be not rounded. I'm a dumbass. There we go. Oopies. Okay. That still passes, right? Nice. All right. Now we still pass everywhere, right? Good thing we have tests, dude. Who would have thought? Who would have thought that these are helpful? Okay. And then let's also just like sanity check that like, yeah, this stuff's all working. This is fine. This is fine. Okay. Rename properties. Huge. Let's do rename dishes next. I think that if we support rename on dishes, then deletion is not like that important. So we can kind of come this here, and then what time is it? 3? Yeah. Okay. Rename dishes. So that means in here, we basically just want to put these guys in inputs. Right. And then we want like input value is dish name. Right, so that should make it so that we see inputs for all these guys. Nice. And now we need to make it so that we do something on them. So it's like input on input. We're gonna do like dish modify EV target value, right? The same, basically exactly the same thing that we did before on the other guy, which means that like our data API, he's gonna have like a dish abstraction that looks very similar to the property abstraction. Probably almost identical. I think it is identical. I think that it's like only got an ID and a name, just like a property. But I'm kind of down to have this be its own type because it's like one of those things where it happens to be the same, but there's nothing that's like actually tying it together. They just happen to both have like ID name. I guess you could call something like you could rename this to ID name elem. Yeah, okay. And then if we change it later, then like dish will no longer be an ID name elem. Yeah, okay. Sure. Oh, except for the fact that uh their modify takes a different URL, and there's not like an easy way, I don't think, to like stitch that together. So fuck it, we'll do it this way. We'll do it this way. Okay, so now we should go in here, and this thing should be like, I am modifying these things, but he doesn't know how because the server doesn't know what to do with that stuff yet. So we need to, when we parse the URL for dishes on put, we're gonna return modify dish, right? Which means somewhere we need a modify dish instruction. Okay. And then somewhere we need to do that down here. And then I think this is going to have the same treatment as property where add dish params is add the exact same. Add modify dish params. And then that makes this look very similar. Okay, so we're going to have a modified dish here. And then add dish here. We need a modify dish, which gets a ID here. Update dishes, set name is this, where ID is this. Cool. So this is like that. Bind i64 1 ID. This guy returns nothing. And now the caller of this guy is going to respond empty. Okay, cool. And then I guess we probably should have, oh, oops, wrong one. Oopsies, wrong one. I think that we forgot to, try the, like, edit the integration test for the property stuff. So let's do that now as well, where we should try modifying a dish down here. So let's say add dish, modify dish. We'll say, give me bread and cheese ID, and we'll say, name it bread and cheese with 2 D's. Okay, so now where we look for bread on cheese later, we're looking for the name to be with 2 D's or something whenever we test dishes, which we might not be doing anywhere. That's kind of funny. We might need to add that somewhere. And then we should kind of, yeah, it's fine. Well, we'll come back for the property one. Okay, so we need modify dish as a thing that we can do in here. Modify dish goes on dishes with ID. Right. Like this, I guess. Okay, yep. So now we should be able to modify the dish. And if the integration test still passes, that means that we should have been validating the dish name somewhere, and we just didn't. Okay. So we should have 2 of these. Get dishes don't exist. Get meals. Okay. I think it's just kind of this. I don't think there's any like special pre-processing to do here. Okay, so I guess we should sort them by ID. Um, D name or something, or ID. Sorry. Okay. So now we should be able to be like, assert dish 0 name is equal to egg on bread or something. What the fuck we called it? Egg on bread. And dish 1 should be bread with 2 D's and cheese. So that proves to us that the modification took place. What are we doing in Python? Just testing that the API for our server works correctly. So now if we go back and read single D, he's like, nope, that's wrong. 2 D's, we're chilling. Okay, cool. Okay, so now this is supporting modifying dish names. Hype. Boom, 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 boom. Support changing dish names. Sometimes I typo. And there's not really much to say here. I don't think. We need to fix the property test as well now. So we need a modify property on here. Properties plus stir ID like this. We'll call this prop ID because he's mad. He's turning blue, which is not good. Means it thinks it's a reserved keyword. We send name is name. We don't get a response back. And now we can go to wherever the fuck we're making our properties. And what we'll do is we'll make protein. We'll put a typo in protein and then modify it back to have ID like this. And then everybody who, I guess we should make sure first of all that if we don't do this, our test fails. Hype. And so now if we modify this thing and put it back to the right name, then he works again. So that means that we have a modify property test. Fix up modify property test. And this goes a couple back here. Cool. Cool. Make sure the lint script passes. Cool. Or, oops, lint. My bad. Cool. Yep. All right. Cool. Rename dishes. Hype. Hype. Okay. So something that is going to happen is I'm going to either go to this ingredients page and I'm going to not notice if I have entered an ingredient before. That's going to happen. So I think that if we sort this list and make sure that I can't add an ingredient that has a duplicate name of an existing ingredient, that should, for the most part, help. Eventually we're going to need to support like renaming these guys. But for now, I think that just doing that will help a lot. So let's, I guess, in here, in like I think this is actually called index, which is kind of funny. We should be able to be like, I want to do something like add ingredient will always go to the bottom. That's fine. We can leave that the way it is. But we want to go like for let ingredient of ingredients I guess we kind of want to go like ingredients, items, sort. How does this work? In place sort where we can pass in a comparison function. So this guy's each of these is gonna have an ingredient, and we want to sort them by name. So this is like give me 2AB and return number, where what is number supposed to be? 0 if they're equal. Negative value if the first argument is less than the second argument. Okay. And a positive value otherwise. So is there like an alphabetical sort function in this language built in? He's just saying huck a sort on there, but like these are not. Here we go. This is more my case. Are you fucking kidding me? Bro, really? Are you fucking kidding me? That's crazy. That's crazy. Sure, fuck it. I mean, so here you can just do like comparisons of strings that way. That's crazy. I would not have guessed that, but sure. Const or let ingredient of ingredients items, we say add ingredient. Sorry, append to ingredient list. Okay, so that should sort these motherfuckers. No, so I'm a fucking dumbass. Oh, my bad. Be like this? No, still no. Hello. Let's just like, okay, so this is running. Are these not what I think? This just isn't happening? Hello? Hello? Oh, it returns. Wait. So why is this not happening? Hi. Like, hello? Am I stupid? Print ingredients. Oh. This does just have to happen after we get the fucking items, huh? There we go. There we go. And then the question is are these correct? That looks sorted by name. Yeah. Okay, cool. And then if I put in something now, this will end up at the bottom, and that's fine. That's fine. It doesn't have to be alphabetical while I'm entering, just when I refresh. Cool. Cool, 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 cool. Sort ingredients in ingredient list. To say help me avoid inserting duplicates. And then also we should just reject duplicates. So can we go into the database here and just say unique name? Oh, I think, oh, name is already unique, not null. Wait, that's hype. Wait, it's already correct. Oh, sick. It already doesn't let me do it. Fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah. Cool. So that's this. Okay. What else did I say? Delete dishes would be nice, but this is not like critical. Delete dishes from meal, that's kind of annoying. So like if I like misclick on this, or like I think I'm gonna eat one thing and then I change my mind, this sucks. Like because I can't remove this guy. So maybe we just huck a delete button next to this thing. Add dish, append dish. Append meal dish. Update meal dish. Okay, hold on. Add dish. What happens here? We probably have some like on dish callback. Append meal dish. Here we go. So here, can we just kinda like delete dish is, a button that we shove somewhere? Not in the right spot. This should say delete. Okay, and then I want this to be either here or indented. Indented seems fine. So maybe this goes in the meal content div, which is kind of like one level nested. Nice. Okay. Maybe here. I kind of want it to be. I want it to be here. Okay, hear me out. Hear me out. Okay, so now this is going to be down here, and then I want. Kind of this way, sorry. Okay. So I kind of want this to the right of this guy. Even in this case? Yeah, I think so. So let's say this is like the modify or like dish buttons div. Okay. And then we're going to say like meal content append dish buttons div. And then dish buttons div gets the drop down and the delete button. So now these guys should kind of both be in one div that contains the two of them. And then this delete dish buttons div should get like a class list here that's like delete like dish buttons, right? And then we can just go in here and we can say like dish buttons is going to be like display flex. Boom. Boom. It's so easy. It's so fucking easy, dude. We're fucking web devs. Huge. Huge. And then does this look okay like this? Yeah, I don't see it. That seems fine. Fuck it. You know what? Display auto or onset. Fine. Whoa. Why is this not working anymore? Whoa, 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 whoa. What is going on here? Should this not be when it resizes like this? Should this thing not change? Semicolon? Not bad. Still not kind of behaving the way I want. Surprisingly. Why? Is it because like this is lower down? Does this need to like move down to the bottom of the page that it gets priority? Oh, it does. That's fucked. Interesting. So the stuff at the bottom of the CSS is like more important. Sure. And then maybe the delete button, just for clarity, should say delete plus meal dish name. He doesn't have a name function. How do we get this? Delete undefined hype. Okay. Where do I fucking... Oh, here we go. It's this. Okay. Delete dish name. I forgot the meal dish only has an ID for the dish, but that doesn't mean that it has its name. Delete egg on bread. So now when I'm scrolling this way, it's like clear what this is for, and that's fine. That works. Yeah, okay, cool. Cool. We're getting close, man. So this delete button, on click, we need to do something. So meal delete dish. That seems kind of reasonable. So meal async delete dish, and then we do like a delete on this ID. Yeah, that seems kind of reasonable, right? No body probably, and then we probably want to delete from the dish list. Is there like a remove function in JavaScript? Oh yeah, index of and splice. Yep. Index of. Can I run index of with a? Okay, this is what we did last time, so we'll do this again. So for this data dishes length, we run over this data dishes. If his ID is this ID, then we splice out that ID type. And then I think we're good. So then we call like somewhere, we call delete dish, and then we remove this dish entirely. So I think it's just like nuke the whole div. I think. Get set, is it clear? No, this clears the whole fucking map. How do I remove one element? If an element with the same key element will be updated, do I just set the value, the thing to undefined? Oh, delete here. Okay, so that's great. And then meal dish meal dishes node remove div. Okay, I think that works. So delete egg on bread. He does get mad, but he still deletes the dish, which seems kind of bad. And he probably wants to update the summary too, right? Okay. Now, why is this working? I don't think it should. Oh, if, here we go. We have to go like this. If response status is not equal to 200, we fail. Throw new error failed to remove dish. There we go. Right, so now I delete this guy. He goes, bitch. Oh no, what the fuck? Why not? Should he not be like, I fucking failed to remove dish? He does. So then, shouldn't this not happen? Right? Oh, wait. There we go. Okay, delete, and now he's failing. Cool. Cool. So now it should be able to just be like API zig. We need a delete meal dish. Okay. so if we are here, we have add meal dish on meal dishes, delete on meal dishes, returns a delete meal dish equal to ID. Okay. Alright, chill out, Ginger. Not yet. No, I'm sorry. In a minute. Okay, I just want to finish this one up, and then my dog is, think she's still got a bit of a sore tummy, so gotta take her out soon. She's been doing okay, but just a little bit not too happy. Okay, add meal dish is now delete meal dish. With ID given 964, we delete. Can we copy delete meal? Yeah, okay. Delete from meal dishes where ID is 1, and this just gets the ID here. Cool. And I think there isn't really much more to it than this. Does that compile? Close. Okay. Refresh. Delete egg on bread. ID is not defined. Okay. We fucked up the JavaScript, I think. Meal.js, delete dish. Yeah, this should be meal dish ID like this. So that probably actually worked. Yeah, so let's add egg on bread. We're gonna copy an old one, hype. I'm gonna hit delete egg on bread, refresh, and it's totally gone. Sick. Yeah, I think that's working. Seems like it. That's not good. Something's wrong here with when I try to add a thing here. Interesting. I don't know what that is. It's like when I add Borgor and egg on bread, it's deleting everything when I hit delete. So I think that it's this isn't working right. This data dishes ID meal dish ID. Is this broken in some way? Oh yeah. Go, damn it. Egg on bread. Borgor, refresh. Okay, so I delete Borgor. It's deleting everything. So why? This is not behaving the way I want it to, no? What am I missing? Delete this. Whoa. So he's like saying 1414. And now I have... This guy didn't even get deleted. Do I have to do this? Delete Borgor? Delete Borgor. So this guy... This stuff definitely matched. So is this splice not doing what I want? Oh. God damn it. God damn it. Okay, now let's try this again. Okay, add burger, delete burger. Array now has one element. That's good. Now, the removal from the HTML is still broken, but at least this looks right. Okay, so is this div wrong? Append meal dish. Can we look at what div it's trying to delete from this guy when I delete Borgor? He's parent node meal dishes. So this is meal dishes has 2 divs. Okay, yeah. So what's the problem here? Something there is not right. Not quite right, but it's close. My dog is getting real antsy, so it's 3:40. So I think I'm just gonna call it here. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like what we saw, we stream most days, 12:30 Pacific time to 4 o'clock Pacific time. It's 3:30 now, so you should expect to see us live. Anytime between 3 hours ago and 20 minutes from now is like our typical stream schedule. We've been working on this meal tracker, but there's a lot of other stuff in the backlog if you want to check that up. So there's a YouTube link in the Twitch description. We organize most of these things into playlists. Some things end up on the YouTube if I think they're titleable and thumbnailable. Some things do not if I think that like the YouTube algorithm will not like it. Unfortunately, that is just kind of like the way I have to make that decision because there's like some sort of momentum to this thing, right? And if I post like 5 videos in a row that the YouTube algorithm doesn't like, it just like likes my channel less. So unfortunately, that's the distinction. If you want to see VODs of the stuff that doesn't go on that YouTube channel, we put those in like Patreon, YouTube member, and Twitch. If you sub on Twitch or those other places, you get access to those. We do that because it's an excuse to give people who want to contribute to the stream something in return for contributing, and also some incentive because the stream will end when I run out of money, right? And the money is going down. So if you want to extend the lifetime of the stream because you want to keep watching, that is a way that you can like contribute to the lifetime of this thing that we're doing. Obviously no pressure, but that's an option. Okay, yeah, my dog's freaking out, so gotta go. YouTube, peace out, and Twitch, let's find someone to raid.